Have you ever spent so much energy trying to change someone else's behavior that you ended up feeling stressed, frustrated, or completely drained? We often try to control other people's choices, opinions, and reactions because we believe doing so will make situations easier. But constantly managing what others do can consume our mental and emotional energy. The let them theory offers a different approach. Release what you cannot control and focus on what you can. The let them theory is a mindset framework designed to help us stop controlling others, reduce stress, and reclaim our lives. Instead of spending our energy trying to manage another person's behavior or choices, we recognize that other people have the freedom to make their own decisions. This allows us to redirect our attention toward our own choices, responses, boundaries, and emotional well-being. In that sense, the theory is not about controlling situations more effectively. It is about learning when to let go of control altogether. At the heart of this approach is a simple two-word rule that can transform our mental bandwidth and emotional peace. The principle is straightforward. When we stop trying to control what other people do, we free ourselves to focus on what is actually within our own control. That shift can change not only how we respond to other people, but also how much mental and emotional energy we carry every day. The first part is let them. It means granting other people the freedom to express their opinions, make their choices, and live their lives, even when we disagree with them. It also means recognizing that trying to manage or manipulate another person's behavior is an impossible drain on our energy. The second part is let me. This means reclaiming our internal agency and free choice. Instead of focusing on what they are doing, we shift our attention to how we choose to respond. We take responsibility for our own boundaries, choices, emotional peace, and personal progression. Together, let them and let me create a powerful balance. Allow others to make their choices while taking full responsibility for our own. Letting someone choose does not mean agreeing with everything they do. It means recognizing that their behavior belongs to them, while our response belongs to us. So why do we over-control? Fear in disguise is one reason. The compulsion to control others usually comes from underlying anxiety, insecurity, or fear of unpredictable outcomes. Control can feel like a way to create certainty when we are uncomfortable with uncertainty. Then there is chronic stress. When we keep fixating on something we cannot alter, our minds remain caught in a cycle of friction, drain, and frustration. And finally, there is pushback and friction. When we micromanage other adults, we naturally create resistance. Pressure creates pushback and can ultimately damage genuine connection. Reclaiming your peace begins with 3 important changes. First, stop over-explaining. You do not need everyone to validate your decisions. Second, stop chasing approval. People who value you will naturally make space for you. And third, release expectations. Instead of constantly expecting adults to become the person you wish they were, learn to accept them as they are. These shifts reduce the pressure we place on both ourselves and other people. When we stop carrying responsibility for other people's choices, we create more room for our own peace. We can care about people without trying to control them. Research highlights that 7 out of 10 adults experience ongoing chronic stress from trying to control or manage other people's choices and behaviors. That means 70% of adults, according to the figure presented here, are experiencing this kind of chronic stress. The human brain is simply not built to govern another person's actions. When we repeatedly try to control what someone else thinks, chooses, or does, we create an emotional burden for ourselves. Shifting toward let them helps release that burden and allows us to redirect our energy toward what we can actually influence. Sometimes the most peaceful choice is not to fight for control. It is to recognize what belongs to someone else, release it, and return your attention to what you can actually change. Another important part of this mindset is freedom from opinions. When you allow people to misunderstand you, judge you, or hold negative opinions about you, you unlock true personal freedom. Other people's judgments are reflections of their own values and filters, not your worth. When you release the constant need for approval, you become more comfortable walking your own path and living authentically. As Mel Robbins puts it, the moment you stop chasing, forcing, and controlling, you start attracting what is truly meant for you. This captures the central idea behind the theory. Instead of constantly forcing situations or people to behave according to our expectations, we create space for things to unfold naturally. Letting go is not about giving up. It is about knowing when your effort is no longer creating progress and choosing to invest that energy somewhere more productive. So how can we actually practice this theory in everyday life? First, catch the urge. Notice the physical sensation that appears when you start trying to fix or micromanage someone else. Second, whisper, let them. Silently repeating these words can help interrupt the impulse to intervene, argue, or take control. Third, pivot to let me. Ask yourself, what is in my control right now? How do I choose to act? And finally, model the change. Instead of repeatedly telling others how they should improve, embody the behaviors and standards you want to see. These steps help turn the theory into a practical daily habit. The energy allocation matrix gives us another practical way to apply this mindset. The idea is to redirect our energy away from zero control areas and toward 100% control areas. When we stop investing so much mental energy in things we cannot determine, we have more energy available for the choices and actions that are actually within our control. This shift can drive greater personal empowerment and inner peace. Ask yourself where your energy is going today. If most of it is being spent on things you cannot control, it may be time to redirect it toward the things you can. Detachment doesn't happen all at once. It develops through a process that helps us gradually shift our attention from controlling others to managing our own responses. It begins with awareness. We first need to notice when our desire to control is being triggered by anxiety or fear. Recognizing that reaction gives us the opportunity to pause rather than immediately act on it. From there comes release. This is where the idea of let them becomes important. Instead of trying to determine or control external outcomes, we allow other people and situations to unfold without constantly trying to intervene. The next step is to re-anchor ourselves. Rather than remaining focused on what others are doing, we shift our attention back to let me, what can I choose? How can I respond, and what is within my own control? And when we consistently make that shift, we move toward peace. We create more space for freedom and authenticity while also developing clearer boundaries. Ultimately, let them and let you live brings the entire idea together. Start practicing the theory today to reclaim your time, mental bandwidth, and peace of mind. Let other people make their choices, have their opinions, and live according to their own decisions. And give yourself the same freedom to choose your response, protect your peace, and decide where your energy is best invested. You cannot control every person, reaction, or outcome, but you can control your choices, your response, and where you invest your energy. Sometimes, freedom begins with knowing what to let go of. The key to solving this is: who or what in your life do you need to stop trying to control today? Thank you for watching. For more insights into leadership and strategy, be sure to explore my channel.